Shalom Aleichem. We're learning the Sicha of Vayeitzei Daled. And Vayeitzei Daled is based on the Farbrengen of Yud Kislev, Tafshin Lamed Zayin. So it was a Thursday night. And a big part of the Farbrengen is about soin, about sheep. The Maimer referenced Pada B'Shalom Nafshi, it spoke a lot about sheep. And then the first Sicha and the second Sicha, the majority of the Farbrengen was connected. And there's a lot of Nekudas that didn't make it into the Sicha, and I want to mention some of them. I can't mention all of them. I can, I just don't have the time. But I totally recommend, if I may, to go through the Farbrengen. You can find it on the Mafteach app or on the website, mafteach.app, and go to the Farbrengen of Yud Kislev, Tafshin Lamed Zayin. It's a very, very gishmak Farbrengen. And in the question, the Rebbe says that because Maisa are similar banim, so therefore there are many things that are told to us about the others. Because why are they told to us? Whatever was. Why do I need to know it? But the reason is similar banim. You have to learn. The Rebbe says, like you learn Achnasas Archim and Stakav Chesed by Avram, and you learn other things from Avodas Yitzchak and Yaakov. So therefore, we need to know what's the important thing to know about Sain Lavan. We know why we had the idea of the sticks, the maklos, because from there we learned tefillin. So there's something to learn. But why do we need everything about Sain? Now, there's a lot of nekudas that come up. I want to go towards the end of the first Sicha. After the Rebbe spoke about the fact that we have to go, Ikar Avodas Hashem Be'itim Alalu is Avodas Hatzdaka. So you taka have to serve Hashem and learn Torah Smit Basmado Shkida. But you have to remember that you find yourself in a world was is in ir verblunget. You're finding people that are literally lost. Und sie suchen einen, was soll sie matzel sein und wegstellen sie bekennen. They're looking for somebody who is going to put them in the ray of light. And so it's pikuach nefesh mamash. That Indian was said is you're helping the person come to Olam Haba. And durch the roof, and not only Olam Haba, but he's having Olam Haza. He's having a life. He's not having an empty life. It's very interesting ideas. But in the previous generations, the situation was that the street itself wasn't so menaged in Torah mitzvahs. It was balabatish, but so the worst that would happen is somebody became balabatish or became amaretz, but still a yidei shamayim. But in our generation, it's such a helen behester that's menaged to limit Torah, and therefore you have to go out into the belt. You literally have to go help another yid. Not only for making a small lamdan to a big lamdan, from the amaretz to a lamdan. Interesting. Over here, the Rebbe uses a different lashon. In the Sicha, the Rebbe seems to be saying that it's not about making a small lamdan into a big lamdan, etc. Over here, he's saying straight out that it's not only about that. It's pashut as sie sollen bleiben Yidden und sie sollen sich fühlen, als Kapanim negeh lemaise ve'id afin. They literally have to behave like a Yid needs to behave. So it's a small difference than the way the Rebbe said in the edited Sicha, where the Rebbe said it's not in Be'iked, it's not about making a big lamdan. Over here, you're going to see as not only are you making from a small lamdan to a big lamdan, but you're making atzolos nefashos. Okay, now that's the way Yaakov did it. Here's where things are a little, it didn't make it into the Sicha. First, he spent 14 years in Beis Medrash Shel Shem Ve'eva, and he learned Torah Basmada V'Shkina. But then he went he went to the Velt, and he was very successful. His Bashar says, when he was sitting in the tents of learning, he learned Torah Basmada V'Shkina. But then when he came to Charan, B'tzayin Lavan, he did his thing. He taka learned Torah by Lavan as well. We know that they never stopped learning. The Gemara says in Yoma by Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And he had davening. He would say, Shir Amala says, he had Tehillim, etc., which is the general idea of Philip. But nevertheless, his main job was sheep. So much so that we learned various halachas. Alter Rebbe learns in Shulchan Aruch various halachas of work ethic from Yaakov Avinu. So from here we have a that the Iker Avoida is the Rufas Agate Alamis. The main Avoida is getting out of Yadal Adamas and do with the world. In the time of Tanoim and Amiroim, it was a Metzias, there was room for the way that Ashbi behaved. But today there's no space for Torah Seim Naseh. Medarf Taka learn and Fried in Yeshiva. You have to first Taka learn in Yeshiva, Dal Damas, and learn Basmod and Shkida. Need no Ein Shmita, not only 7 years, which is basically 3 years, Shivak Tana, 4 years of Shivak Dela, but Yudalit Shanim, I guess, which includes all the years after, and Kedel, etc. If you say that you only have Torah, you don't even have Torah. Stabs and Torah with Mils Chasam. And even in Torah, it has to be Vamidu Tamidim Harbe. And that started from Anshik Knesset Sagdoila. But then it was maybe a Milsa Dichsidis. Then it was a thing, an extra. But today it's Pikuach Nefesh. And because we say Talmidim Harbe, so there's no limit. Because if it's possible to be more, then it's still not Harbe. So when you find that when said devust, when someone lets you know that there's a Yiddish kind, was im darf tukum in the limit that he needs to learn more. Nit does his felt limit It's not that he's lacking go'inus. He doesn't know how to do tamidim the ma'isiv apoil. You have an obligation. Hamidu tamidim harbe. And like the Alter Rebbe says in Hilchos Talmud Torah, it's a mitzvah saseh of Torah on every chacham and chacham yisrael. Lilamed is kol talmidim, all the students, even if they're not your children. V'shenantam levanecha elu talmidecha. So this is a psaktin in Shulchan Aruch, and this comes the psaktin comes from the Sifri and from the Rambam. It's a mitzvah saseh in that Torah. It's interesting. Have you ever heard this like this perspective on shlichus or whatever? Going with Tzayim. It's a mitzvah saseh in the Torah. You have the obligation. You say it twice every day, and again a third time before you go to sleep. And the mitzvah is kol chacham v'chacham. Not because I'm a chacham, I could go focus on what I have to do. No, every chacham has the obligation. Even if they're not your descendants. So this includes kids that are not in your yeshiva, because they're already your children. They're already your talmidim. You have to go find somebody else, someone who's not your student. You just found out about this child, and that's a mitzvah saseh min haTorah to learn with this child. And just like Yaakov did, Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Be'er Sheva elu Charan, so too we have to go out from our Be'er Sheva, even though we know that we're going to Charan. And if they're going to start screaming, how is it possible you're going to Charan? I'm afraid. Zokmenim as does zoktim Yitzchak Aviv. We tell him, Yitzchak, your father, saying this. Und does zoktim Rivka Imah. And you're being said the same thing by Rivka, your mother. Like it says in the end of Parshas told us. So you're coming with the koyach of kibud ava'im. They're nothing less than partners with Hashem in your creation. And you are banim latem Hashem lekechem. And the Shechina is with you. So you have nothing to worry about. Wherever you go into Galus, Shechina imam. Especially when you're dealing with spreading Torah in Yiddishkeit. And if in a bittul, it's not about your metzias. Soyin is melashon yitzia, as we said in the Maimer. So you'll have the incredible success. And that will be a chana kreva to be as Mashiach Tzidkenu. I could go on and on. The next Sicha is also beautiful. Rebbe explains, now that we explain what Soin is, what Shar, Chamor, etc. But for now, L'chaim, L'shalom, we should all have an incredible atzlacha.